I'm not sure what you mean by that, as in...
Is the stock rising?
Is the stock rising? Who knows? It's too early to tell.
Last time you played the Jets, they seem to control the tempo of the game. What do you look at that you think you guys need to do different this time around?
I think they did a good job of keeping it the way they like to play the game, which is obviously close. If I remember, honestly, I don't remember what the score was, but I believe it was close for the most part. I think we gave up 10 points or something in that nature, but regardless, I think they like a tight game, and it gives them an opportunity to control the game from a running the ball standpoint. Obviously, methodical moving down the field, where they have short passes, run game, play action, every now and then take big shots. So we understand that from a defense perspective, and we want to get them off kilter and kind of shut that down.
How much different do you think the unit is this time around? You have 3 new starters. The team defense seems to be on the rise.
3 new starters on our side?
Yeah.
I think we understand what we have as a particular group. We understand what they wanted to do against us. They've obviously got some new twists. Obviously we have film of, I think, 6 or 7 games of them now. So there's some new twists that they've thrown out there that we've seen. I actually see a little bit of what we saw last week in the stretch game. So we've got our hands full for sure.
Are the Jets an example of like why it's pointless to try to look at your schedule and say, well, this team will be this and this team will be that?
I would never do that anyways, because the NFL is the NFL. Every team is good at any particular day, any particular Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. So at the end of the day, you got to respect each and every player and each and every team in this league.
So you do your work in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
How has the footing been at Hard Rock Stadium last time you played there, and in the preseason?
I think the preseason we struggled a little bit, but at the end of the day, I've seen all different kinds of conditions, and as a professional, you have to be able to adjust and adapt. And I think Joe Cimino and his staff does a great job allowing us to be prepared at any point in situation. So I wouldn't say it's an issue from my standpoint, let alone our teams.
Did you have to change out cleats at all or anything like that?
Well, I'm a guy that understands. I'm pretty much good in molds. I did actually play in screw-ins when I was in London, just because that was my 3rd time there, and that field is a little different. Obviously, they're playing a lot more games on it, so it wasn't going to be as clean as it was in previous years. So I kind of took out the need for any worries, and if I change anything, it would be the length of my screw-ins. But I mean, most of the time, I'm good in my molds.
What do you like about this defense?
What do I like? I think the fact that we're learning how to execute and being able to be consistent to some extent. We're not perfect. I don't think we'll ever be perfect, but we're going to continue to strive to get there. And I think the biggest thing is that compared to probably years in the past where we weren't fully built in and understanding what we needed to get done, I think as we've grown and gotten older and obviously added some new pieces, people understand where they need to go and how to be successful.
How would you assess the impact William Hayes has had on this defense?
I think Will Hayes has had a tremendous impact on this defense, especially in the run game. And I don't find it surprising because I've watched his film, but some other people may find it surprising. He's a great pass rusher as well. He's known for a run stopper, but he can, without question, pass rush. Excuse me.
Ndamukong, yesterday 3 of the players on this team went to New York and were part of meetings with the commissioner on social issues. Did they report back to the rest of the roster today?
I haven't. I knew that was going on, but as in regards to reporting back to us today, today's our normal Wednesday. We're focused on football. Obviously, it's something that's important that I believe in and understand needs to be spoken about and addressed. But as we understand when we come into these doors, and I think I've said this in regards to like Hurricane Irma and situation we have to deal with on an everyday basis, kind of when we're in this building, we focus on what we have to do, and then outside of that, we take care of our business from there.
Gase last week talked about how fired up Jarvis Landry, Jay Ajayi get on the offense. Who gets most fired up on the defense?
I'm definitely not the guy, but I would say probably Cam is one of those big guys that speaks, very vocal, obviously brings our defense and offensive line groups together before the game. But, I mean, at any point in time, I think anybody feels that they can have that opportunity. I'm not sure if we have, outside of Cam, and he's really the main one that I think of that's really super vocal from that standpoint. Excuse me.
So would you describe yourself more as a lead by example kind of guy?
Yeah, I'd say for sure a lead by example or more of a one-on-one conversation. I mean, every now and then I'll pull the group together, understand a situation, but I'm not more of a rah-rah guy.
Jordan Phillips was talking coming into the season that his career had been on, be more consistent, things like that. Have you? I know he's been hurt, but have you seen some things, maybe going even back to August, that behind the scenes that show you a different approach from him this year?
I think Jordan understands what he needs to do, and he will continue to progress in that manner. I've been around him. He's obviously trained with me before in the past, as well as this past off season, and then he's been tough for him of recent, just because of his injury and what's taken place from that standpoint. But I think he's in the right path and the right mindset, more or less than anything.
Right mindset, specifically, what do you mean by that?
He's focused on what he wants to do and get focused on where he needs to be. And I think understanding, just like all the other guys, asking questions, talking about the game, and just seeing from that mindset, he's grown from being a rookie where he's just focused on what he needs to get done.
You've got three really experienced linebackers at the moment playing behind you. Does that change what you do yourself in any way? And if so, how?
It's kind of a tough question because each and every guy is a little bit different. They've grown up in their own particular way. Obviously, Timon's been in the Steelers' way of doing things, and which is a little bit different than how we look at things. Kiko obviously has been on a handful of different teams with Buffalo and Philly, and then Ray obviously with Cincinnati majority of his career. So I would say it wouldn't change my game. I think playing off each other is a little bit different, and we have to understand how I like to play, how they like to play, and vice versa. So it's a combination of just understanding who's behind you and how they fit, and really understanding where our defense is at the plain and simple, and how we want to look at things. So I know and talk about ways of cheating and finding ways to get in. Funny enough, talking about this earlier today during practice with Coach T. So there's in a particular play that the Jets like to run. So there's different ways, and with you have experience, you can get further in depth with those things without question.
Is that it? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.